Hey leaders, today is Monday, May 3rd, and today I wanted to talk about onboarding again. One of the biggest reasons why consultants or leaders, you guys, aren't growing more deep is generally the lack of some type of a onboarding process as a leader. Um, Also the mindset of, that everybody that joins in your team is you are the leader of. And so I want to talk about that today. I'm going to keep it kind of short, or at least I'm going to try to. So the mindset of a leader that's trying to grow a business to rely on your business financially, and that you are looking to grow your business financially regularly, like consistently, is someone that looks at every person that joins as they're on your team. And what I mean by that is there are some people that have the mindset of like, oh, that's my front lines team member. So you are the future director. If you are a team builder, if you are looking to become a director. And so you have to have the mindset that this is my future official team as far as a director. Okay. And we've talked about this before, but I feel like some people need more discussion on this because it's really a mindset. And so if you're not setting up regular onboarding process systems of some sort, um, with everybody, not just the people you personally sponsor, you're missing out on possible people that are going to be your business builders. And so, and that's the thing, is that all of us need our teams to sponsor, and those people to sponsor in order to grow deep, because that's where the volume is going to go. And that's how you're going to find more business builders and more leaders. Okay. So what is your onboarding process? I'm going to share with you what I do. And this may be something that you're willing to jump on board and do it yourself. Um, you may feel like that's not what you're willing to do. And that's the thing, is this business is always your business. I could share best practices. I could share what I know to be true, to be effective for other leaders and myself. However, if you're not willing to do it, you're not willing to do it. And so you just have to be able to accept the results or lack of results that may happen from not willing to do certain steps. Okay. I'm not saying specific steps. I'm just saying certain steps that are going to be effective with connecting with your downline. Okay. So when somebody joins, Scentsy sends an email to the sponsor and the director, as well as the superstar director. So I get everybody's email. Okay. And so what I automatically do is, from my phone, because my phone is with me all the time, is I copy their email and I upload their name to a list. I have a email system called Constant Contact, and there's a list that is set up to people that are new, and it's under the welcome new consultant list. Okay. And they are set up to have a email series of, we call them drips of information sent to them, training, and they're kind of given more. Now, this was set up before the first things first checklist was around. Okay. So this is something that I had in place because we didn't have the first things first checklist. However, I do still provide it because some people, email is their way to communicate. Okay. They may not be on their workstation. So what I do, and I always train my frontline and anybody that does coaching with me, that how important it is to have a layered system of communication. Now, since the last, I mean, I don't even know, I've had a constant contact since 2012. But as far as my welcome series, they didn't have an autoresponder feature until probably about maybe 2016, 15, maybe, I don't know. Um, so but it's something that it's just an automatic. It's a habit. It's a ritual that I've always done. It never stopped. Even when my business was not my forefront of my brain and things were different and I was kind of, taking a, my business took a shift. That is one thing that I didn't change. So everybody got an email from me. And I always encourage my team members to and frontline, and I encourage you, whether you're my frontline or not, to have some type of welcome email or phone call or text setup, if not all three. Um, I do also slybroadcast.com, which is a voicemail service, and there is Slide Dial and there is slybroadcast.com. Now, Slide Dial is an app, and that they do not see. They don't have a way of seeing who called. There's no caller ID. It's just like a blank, nobody called, but they have a voicemail, which is kind of weird. So Slide Broadcast is actually an email system, I mean, excuse me, a voicemail system that you schedule the time it's sent and it shows up with your caller ID. So what it does is when you are available to actually send a call, you don't have time to sit and make the phone call right then, but you're basically sending out an invitation to talk to this person and get to know this person. So your first initial invitation is calling them, leaving a voicemail, welcoming them to the team, and saying, "Hey, I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to know what your goals are and how I could support you." If they call you back, that means that they want to do something with their business and they want that support from you. But if you don't hear from them, you know how much energy you want to put into them, right? However, I still send out a welcome postcard or packet. And I actually send a packet to everybody and it has, I actually have it right here because I have to go make more. Um, some of you may have gotten this because you went up the ladder to a leader fast. I have a little welcome flyer that talks about success. Start working your Scentsy business today. That's S. Create goals and an action plan and put into writing. For C, E, encourage others to join you. N, never give up. T, take part in team training and the training center in your workstation or dashboard. S, study, learn, grow, and share your enthusiasm. Y, your success is determined by you. So that spells Scentsy. And then I have my information here. It says, look at your new business as a chance to learn, grow, make new friends, and create whatever opportunity is you are looking for. I'm excited to be a part of your journey. On the other side, I have the information about Amy, the app that Scentsy has partnership with, because if they can start off with a good follow-up system from the beginning, studies have shown that their business are going to grow faster. Okay. This flyer talks about the 2-year plan, about sponsoring 2 or more people a month and selling over 2,000 and what that will do for their business. And these are just some tools of things that we want them to learn about. Use the files. It's at the bottom. If they go to this website that our upline, Beck Levi, has for all of us, these are some tools in order to share and grow their business. And they can download like these little drawing slips that they can meet people and put them in a drawing. This is a marketing tool that they can use for booking parties and growing their hostess's goal to at least 5,500 so they can get $75 in free credit. They can download this picture, this flyer themselves and use it as a recruiting tool. And then they can also print this out and put this at their parties for help wanted, and it'll cause people to say, "Hey, well, what do you mean by help wanted?" Whatever. This flyer right here, it's all in the bag. This basically about the bag technique of how to package your orders and make your bags as inviting and enticing as possible. Each bag should contain a hostess packet, invitation, wish list, and contact list. But this is basically just information for parties and making your orders look nice. Let's see. This is Hostess Coaching information. It helps them to get off the bat to be able, if they get a hostess that wants to host for them, they off the bat have Hostess Coaching. This is the information about what to say for getting people to join for the $99 kit. This is a very successful party game that they can play at their very first launch party that helps them also recruit and book parties. This is a tracker for them for their first 70 days and 15 days for their shooting star. And then there's 29 ways to work your business. So this is mailed to them. Everybody that joins our group gets that. Now, however, I will tell you that I don't get a lot of people reaching out. They're going to reach out to people that they feel comfortable with, and that's usually you. Okay. It's the closer to them that either it's their sponsor or their sponsor's sponsor, usually. And because you know their sponsor, you can reach out to the sponsor and find out what more about this person. Okay. And then you and the sponsor together can help that person um, with their support, the sponsor's support, instead of you trying to do it by yourself. That's why we want it to be a team effort. We want to make sure they know that they're not alone. And that's also something that's important for sponsors, because some people don't sponsor as often because they're scared they don't have enough knowledge. So that's why it's important for you as the leader of that team to offer the support of the new sponsor and people that are growing their teams. Okay. Now, there's also Project Broadcast. That's like it's been around for a little while now, but it's a newer way of that you could do some, types of trainings and connection. I personally just got turned on to it. I'm not going to lie, it's new, but I am going to be incorporating it because it actually does a lot of the different things that I use from different programs. So it has a voicemail system, it has a text system, it has autoresponder type thing, so we can tag if they respond with this specific goal, this tag, they'll get a different text. So that is to kind of narrow down and get them to get the information that they need. I'm sorry, I just saw something weird with my son. And so that is going to be added to what they get from me. But again, even if they get great tools and they're getting connection from me, I'm sometimes so far up the line that they think like, I think for some reason they just don't, it might be a worthiness issue that they think that, oh, I don't want to waste her time. I hear that all the time, which is crazy because I'm offering my time. But, and then there's people that they call me right back or they text me right back, and they don't think of me as anything other than just Jess, which I'm glad they do because that's who I am. But again, it just depends on their culture, the way they look at status, everything of how they're going to respond. But my goal for you of what this call is about, this Zoom, is ask yourself, what do you do when people first join? Because here's the thing, if you're not doing anything, you could almost bet your downline isn't doing anything. So you need to teach your team members to teach their team members how important connection within at least the first 48 hours is with a new team member, and to kind of find out what their goals are and make sure that they're aware of the first things first checklist. And then it's helping me making sure they're aware that I sent them an email, that I text them if they're like, I don't know what the heck this is. They may not have looked at it, and because they didn't know who I was, so they didn't even read the text. You just don't know. So we have to work together as a group and help each other and help them as a team. So things that we need to find out is, there should be a portion of a meeting that you have, whether it's Zoom or phone call, of like, get to know them a little bit better. Are they married? Do they have a full-time job? Do they work from home? And then you'll be able to assist them more, because how can you plug in Scentsy in their life? If you don't know anything about their life, it's going to be very hard to plug them in, right? Okay. I'm looking at my notes here. So what do you do when somebody first joins on your team? And are you looking at Are you paying attention to your team members? Like, do you have some type of a system to even realize that somebody in your downline, if you're not a director and you didn't sponsor them yourself, your team is growing, but the only way for you to know that your team is growing is to know what your team numbers are each day. So are you taking the time every day to log your numbers and log how many people are on your team? So when you wake up the next morning and there's one more person or three more people, you know that there's new people on your team, and then you can go to your performance tab and drill into your leadership down. I mean, sorry, what's the word? Um, I am trying to use the right verbiage. Let me get to the workstation. My workstation's always slow and I need it to be. Okay, so you view my performance on your dashboard, homepage of your dashboard, and then you start leadership report, and then you'll be able to see who these new people are, right? And that's where you're going to get their information of their phone number or their email and or mail if you want to send them out something like a postcard. And if you could do that within the first couple days of them joining, it's definitely better because you're catching them to be excited, and it's new to them. But if you're not noticing that they've been on your team for weeks or a month, you're like, oh, I guess I have a new person. You're losing opportunity because the longer they're on your team with no connection and no contact from you, um, one, the less you can support them and help them earn their shooting star and their 70 days and all that fun stuff. But also, it's again, I always train whoever's trying to become a director to act like a director now. So when it happens, it's just official, but you're doing the same actions. And that is one of the things directors need to do is pay attention to their numbers every single day and make sure they know who's joining their team every day. The bigger it gets harder. So I do need your guys' help to take care of your own teams. And not that I'm still going to stay connected if I can, but that's what I mean by um, if you're not noticing that there's people on your team, you're not presenting yourself as their leader and their future director. And so when it does happen, if it happens by chance or it ends up happening, it's going to be a harder adjustment for them because all of a sudden you're their director and you have stewardship and you have obligations from Scentsy to provide for them, and they don't know who the heck you are. Does that make sense? Um, your system doesn't have to be mine. It doesn't have to be your director's. It just has to be something that you're consistent with. How and what do you do when somebody new joins your team? And what do you do in order to find out that they joined? Because like I said, unless you're a director or you sponsor them directly, the only way you're going to know is if you're paying attention to your numbers every single day. So what system are you going to have in place to make sure you're checking your um, team numbers every day? I personally do a screenshot of my performance overview every single night before I go to sleep. So I know how many people were on my team yesterday, how many people were in my group yesterday, how many active frontline, how many first generation directors, like everything I have. And I email it to myself. And the subject is always DN for daily numbers and then the day. So I can also go back 5 years ago on the same day and see where we were back then and see how much growth I can go. Definitely, I always compare to last year, but I even go back, I can go back as many years as I want to. And that's important. If you're a person that likes to write it down, have a little journal or a notebook and do that as well. But whatever you're going to do consistently so you can track. Um, there are tons of onboarding checklists that are out there. A lot of them are in this leadership page. If you um, don't know and or have any of them, do yourself a favor in this group page, go to the files section and look through that. There is, or you can click search and you can type in mentor guide, mentor sheet, um, contact and progress details, sponsoring best practices. I mean, there's a lot that that'll pop up. And I've uploaded a lot of other people's onboarding processes, and you can make your own, what worked for you. But there has to be a system that you do for everybody, that especially that you sponsor yourself, and then the people in your team. All right. I hope that uh, that gives you just something to think about. If you want to do some coaching with me directly, more that's more tight, and I'm happy to help you kind of narrow down and figure out a system for what'll work for you. Please reach out to me. Let's book something, or your director. But you have to want to do that, and it has to make sense to you. So that's why I'm just kind of sharing as an overall why it's important, and then what you're going to do is going to be the next step. All right, I hope this helps with you guys. Have a great day. Bye.